I was just watching this video and on this bodybuilder who just lost his coach, a guy who molded him and excuse me, positive ways to do the right things in life. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to make this a super long video, but I am, you know what I'm saying, just going to kind of show you how people in James' life guided and led him to the right direction when the wrong would be so easy. You know what I mean? Super easy. I started off in the hood, man. Bottom of the bottom. I stayed in the hood. Well, yeah, until I was 14, I was definitely, in that type of environment, but also surrounded by, I don't know, it was like, I stayed in the trailer park from 3 until 14. And in the trailer park was like a mix of people, but mostly like older white folks. And, in a small town, right outside, I mean walking distance, like a mile down the road, are the ghetto, like the bottom of the bottoms, you know what I mean? So it's easy, as I got older, it would have been more accessible, you know what I mean? Even though I was still sneaking off doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing, like every other kid that you don't keep their eye on because they want to see what they can get away with, right? Growing up with strict parents, bro. Strict parents. I couldn't even have a girlfriend until I was in high school. Now, I don't know if that helped me or hindered me because I'm single at 31. I've probably only been in 3 or 4 relationships my entire life. Short relationships. And the amount of women I've been with, I don't know if it'd be a good thing or a bad thing to mention that, to be honest. I got used to sneaking around, you know what I mean? Sneaking because mama wasn't going for it. She said, "You young, you don't need no girlfriend." And I snuck a few girls into the house, and my dad caught me, and these were hot chicks too, bro, like hot chicks too. And I remember I was in the room with this one chick. She was so fucking hot. And I took her in the room, closed the door, and another story my mom doesn't even know about, but I'm about to say it. So I took this girl in the room, closed the door. As soon as I came in the door, my dad walked in and he was like, nope, your mama ain't going for that. You know she ain't going for that. So he's like, y'all can go in the living room, but y'all can't stay in this room. You know what I mean? And this was when, this story right here was in like 10th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. I remember one time I brought 2 girls to the crib. I went to pick them up. Mom and daddy sleep. So I bring them up. And this was probably right after high school. And it was still that, like, I still, if she's not my actual girlfriend, I can't take her over to my parents' house. It's just how my mom's always been, and she does not play that, right? So I went and picked up these 2 chicks, right? These fine Mexican chick and this black chick. She wasn't really fine, but she was cute though. You know what I mean? She would have been like, to get the fine chick, but at the same time, she wasn't bad looking either. So anyway, I'm like, yeah. So I go get them, take them back to the crib, pull up. Hey, yo, wait, I gotta go check in here and make sure everything good first. You know what I'm saying? Walk in, open the door. Everybody still asleep. Knowing my parents got a camera on the front of the door, but I thought they would sleep, so I didn't think they would know. So I go back outside, and I was like, hey, yeah, we good. Just let's go upstairs. Everybody sleep, so we gotta be quiet. So all right. So then, get in the house. We walking up the stairs. All of a sudden, the light cut on, and I was like, fuck! All three of us was, Pops, of course. Y'all gotta go. I said, God dang, man, you supposed to be on my side. I said, yeah, y'all, hold on. Walk down to, hey, man, Daddy, look, I got two of them, man, just be cool, man. Nope, your mama ain't going for that. So basically, long story short of this part of it is, mama wouldn't go for no foolishness, you know what I mean? At all, you know what I mean? So it was always yes ma'am, no ma'am, and if you don't, my dad is 6'4", my mom is 5'2", you know what I mean? So he was a bodybuilder basically, so he gonna enforce it and she gonna say it, you know what I'm saying? So that's how it was, so that's just how I grew up, you know what I mean? But it was no drama, no nonsense, no, if you go to jail, we're not getting you out, no drugs, no partying, no none of that, you know what I mean, ever. You know what I mean? So I grew up in a really strict Christian household, right? But anyway, yeah, so long story short, why I haven't had many girlfriends. I just got used to, I don't know if this was a bad thing or a good thing, because I got used to not having to have a girlfriend and learning to sneak around, which coincidentally made me really good with women, you know what I mean? So I'm still single, I'm 31, you know what I mean? So anyway, and they don't like the idea of being controlled. You know what I mean? So, long story short. Okay. So then we moved from Oklahoma to Texas. And we moved from Oklahoma to Texas. When I tell you, all my friends that I was growing up with in Oklahoma are now dead or in prison for murder, right? So we moved to Texas. In Texas, it was a one hallway school, all white. You got to wear collar shirts, belt, tucked in pants, and that was a dress code from middle school to high school, right? And I was probably one of only 5 black kids in the whole school, so it was a complete culture shock, right? So when I got there, I saw the other side, you know what I mean? And that's when I met Coach Moore. Man, that was my guy, man. Rest in peace, Coach Moore, man. So that's when I met Coach Moore and met all my friends that I'm still friends with today. Even though we might not talk to each other as well, we still always love, you know what I mean? Football, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? My parents were, after because my dad was a CDL driver, so he always worked all through the night, all through the day, so he was never home. And my mom was always busy with my 2 sisters, you know what I mean? Because I got 2 sisters, older, younger sister, and I was the middle child, right? So I was always blamed for everything, you know what I mean? When anything went wrong, it came out later that it was never me, it was my sisters, but you know what I mean? That's how it was growing up, you know what I mean? So it just is what it is, you know what I mean? And then when you get older, it's like women still control everything anyway, so it's like, well, maybe I'm winning in that way, you know what I mean? So, you know, I met coaches, and you know what I mean, coaches were no nonsense, no cursing, yes sir, no sir, we're gonna run your butt, no partying, even though we party. I'm talking about, bro, when I got there, remember I told you I was one of the only 5 black kids, you know, and they're surrounded by a bunch of country towns. You know, country folks party. So when I got there in 9th grade, all the most popular varsity football players, all that stuff, took me in automatically, immediately. So from day 1 in 9th grade year, I was partying with the most popular people in towns around, you know what I mean? And they was just loving me, J-Man. And I know cap, bro, at all, bro, for real. So it's always been that way. But, you know, but you know what I mean? But then, you know, football got really serious later on. But, you know, at this point, I'm just like, dang, all these super pretty white girls, all these super popular dudes, football players. I'm like, dang, yeah, this is different right here, for real. Like, even though back home, I was still always surrounded by a bunch of pretty girls. That just has always been. You know what I mean? Honestly, just to be truthfully. But, you know what I mean? But it was just different. It was just like, you know what I mean? Now I'm in 9th grade. Mama, hopefully she turned this video. She didn't see this. I'm in 9th grade, losing my virginity on a back road in the country. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I didn't lose it until 9th grade, though. I ain't losing until 8th or 9th grade. It was one of those. But, you know what I mean? But a fine chick, too. Ooh, she was so fun. I didn't think she was going to let me do it. But, anyway, so, yeah, man. But, yeah, so then we, you know, football from 7 till senior year. Football, right? So that's how it was. And then, you know, I had my best friend Revo. And then, you know, around the 9th grade is when me and my parents were butting heads like any normal kid. Well, rebellious kid. I don't know if I would say I was rebellious, but I guess I must have been rebellious. You know, because my parents were so strict. Like I said, I couldn't even have a girlfriend until like senior year. You know what I mean? And them parents were just like, okay, now it's fine. I'm like, y'all only saying that now because y'all see the lifestyle I'm living. Now I'm a club promoter in Dallas at Zook, at Plush. I'm getting party buses, all the baddest chicks every weekend. I'm partying senior year from Tuesday until Sunday. Like, people are like texting me, like in class, like, James, bro, we just saw you at the club last night. What are you doing here? I'm like, yeah, bro, it was like that, for real. So then, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, so they didn't lax until senior year. You know what I mean? At that point, mom was like, all right, you're too big for me to be still whooping you, you know? And Pops was like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be punching on you, so just know that if you leave, you're not coming back. You know what I mean? Which means if I moved out the house, I wasn't coming back. And of course, I moved out the first chance I got. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't as strict. I can now do what I want to do. So I moved with this dude named Michael Kidd, had a mansion, you know, a log cabin. You know, we partying hard as fuck every day right after senior year. You know what I mean? And then, you know, I'm partying for like 2 or 3 years, and then shit went bad, bro. Like, that's when I went homeless and all that shit, and lost all my friends, and I had to go find myself again. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, so, but, you know, like, yeah, like Coach Moore, like, he would pick me up every morning for morning weights, for football, for track, and even if I just needed a ride to school, you know what I mean? Like, every single morning, he's taking me home from games, he picked me up in the morning, you know what I mean? We're getting food, like, he's teaching, you know, he's a super player. Like, he was married, but he was super player, bro. Like, he played for, like, he was star quarterback. His dad is the most winningest coach in Texas. He played for OU. He was a star quarterback at Salina, Texas. And that was just, you know what I mean? I saw a coach, I'm like, bro, coach is cool as fuck, bro. Like, he was like player, like super player. He was married, but he was still like super player, you know what I mean? And, you know, coach ended up passing away, and that, bro, that definitely, because right before he passed, you know what I mean, last time I saw him, I was just like, Coach, you gonna beat this ALS, you gonna beat this, and you know I love you, and you gonna beat this, like, we're gonna be here for you. And he ended up passing. But so that was really tough. So then, you know, after that I went homeless, and it went bad for a few years after that, you know what I mean? But anyway, basically what I'm saying is, long story short, is people need good direction, you know what I mean? And I was fortunate enough to come across people, and even my uncles, who used to be, and I do mean used to be, late 90s, early 2000s, already been to the penitentiary. This is already done with. Major drug kingpin dealer, major drug kingpins, you know what I mean? So when I got to Oklahoma, I already know what it is, you know what I mean? So I already know the police, I already know what it is, you know what I'm saying? So when I get put over in Oklahoma for no reason, it's kind of understood, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, my uncles were the ones who told me, like, I'll be like, man, like, this dude, these kids tried to jump me, you know what I'm saying? You already know what we gotta do. Nope. J-Man, you ain't going that. You ain't doing that. You ain't going down that route. No. I think, I wanna smoke a little bit. I wanna do this, I wanna do that. Nah, J-Man, that's not what it is, man. I'm telling you, bro. I done did it. I got a box full of dead homies. Look, him. You my nephew. I'm not letting you go out like that. So I had these people in my life, you know what I mean? So, and when I do say it could have been easy for me to go that direction, I didn't go that direction because of good people in my life, you know what I mean? So, it's important to have good people in your life and that's why I am the way I am. I don't think that I'm here alone by my own decisions. There's no way I wouldn't be here by my own decisions. I would be in the penitentiary or dead. You know what I mean? My mom used to always tell me, she thought I was going to be in the penitentiary dead. She's like, you just like your uncles. You just like them. You're going to be in the dead. You're going to be dead or you're going to be in the penitentiary. Which one is it? I'm not going to be in either one. And that's how it turned out, you know what I mean? Because she was so strict on me. They were so strict on me always throughout high school. What high school kid can't have a girlfriend? That was very strict, man. But, you know what I mean? But it led me to some discipline later on. Maybe while I'm still living this life. And I'm going to live this life, you know what I mean? And I'm going to live it and I'm going to enjoy it, you know what I mean? And unless God brings me a wife and she acts right, then it might change. But until then, I'm going to live my life. You live your life. And then, you know what I mean? Everything happens for a reason, but there's a bigger plan to everything.